Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees have quickly gotten their new hitting coach, who will be former Major Leaguer Sean Casey, also former of MLB Network. Kind of a surprise there. And, of course, looks like actually Garrett Cole would participate in the All-Star game. And, so I kind of thought, maybe since he started Saturday, he wouldn't, but he would. So he would be the lone Yankee representative. Wowee. So we'll get into all that, but make sure you subscribe to this podcast, as well as check out the latest interview, which is available now on YouTube. That's kind of what I've been keeping secret. It's an interview with Brian Hoke. He's the Yankee beat writer for MLB.com. Again, any Yankee fan, I'm sure you've read dozens of his articles. He's been covering the Yankees again since 2007. So if you've been on Yankee.com, any news story there or injury updates, that's pretty much Brian Hoke. So he's kind of knows his team in and out. He just has a book just came out on the July 11th, 62, Aaron Judge, New York Yankees, and the pursuit of greatness. It was about Judge's home run chase last season to get to 62. Obviously, he wanted to try to get a little higher than that, but nevertheless, a lot of people seen that as the real new single-season home run record. Of course, people look at Judge as done it clean, whereas Bonds in the 7-3 might be a little tainted there. And of course, you could have that argument with you and your other baseball friends. But nevertheless, go to YouTube, check out the interview. It's there. It's available now with Brian Hoke. We'll get a rip of that and put it here in the podcast version as well. If you like this, close your eyes and listen versus view. I don't know why, but go to YouTube. It's there. But nevertheless, make sure you follow and subscribe, because what I'm going to tell you right now, it's exclusive for you podcast subscribers. So getting the full thoughts on Sean Casey. I may mention it briefly elsewhere, but you're going to get the elongated version here on the podcast. So that's why you want to be a subscriber. So the Yankees, I guess they have to show the fans something, because you can't just fire the whole team, especially you got a bunch of guys like Stanton and DJ LeMay locked into long-term deals. So what you do is you fire the hitting coach. You got to blame somebody. Now, this is something Cashman hasn't done before in his tenure as GM for the Yankees, to fire coaches mid-season, but I think it's to a point where you have so many hitters batting in the 200s. I mean, the Yankees right now are like the third lowest in team batting average in the American League, so they're probably just barely better than Oakland, and that's not saying much. So they need improvement, they need more contact, they need more hitting, need a higher batting average. So it's just so bad to the point where they had to let Lawson go. And then the search is on for the new hitting coach. They said they were going to go outside the organization instead of promoting someone, from within the system. And again, this is kind of out of left field a little bit. That's something I would expect, but a higher former player, Sean Casey, guy, he had his best years with the Cincinnati Reds, and it kind of late in his career bounced around a little bit with Detroit, I believe maybe a little Pittsburgh, a little Boston on his way out there. But a solid hitter. And again, if you're a baseball fan and you've been watching him since 2009 when he retired, been on MLB Network for the past 15 years, and pretty informative, pretty excitable guy, entertaining there. Now, he's never really coached before. This is all sort of new to him, so he's going to be able to do this. I don't know, but at least give you the tail of the tape as a player. Played 12 seasons. Again, his best years were with Cincinnati, and he was like a legitimate 300-plus type hitter every season. Even, towards the end there, he had a couple of years where he was injured a little bit and, a little downtime, but still finished his career as a 302 hitter. So, it's quite impressive there. 12 years in the majors, a three-time All-Star. And he's known Boone for a while. Again, Boone and him were teammates back in Cincinnati. And even before that, I guess they've had some sort of relation. Boone said he's known him for 30 years. So I guess they just go back a bit there. And he's a left-handed hitter. He's kind of this pure type of Tony Gwynn / John Kruk type of this George Brett kind of average type hitters. Not saying he's as good as George Brett or good as Tony Gwynn, but just kind of contact hitter. It's basically what the Yankees need. Basically, someone who's going to spray the ball around. He's not a dead pull hitter. He's able to go opposite field. He's just a pure hitter. Again, a guy that's always usually batting over 300 there, and that's pretty much what the Yankees need. The whole question is now, how's he going to fit in here? Number one, a lot of the Yankee players that are struggling are right-handed hitters, and he's a left-handed hitter. I mean, I know hitting's hitting, but is he going to be able to help Stanton understand Stanton? Because again, it's the other side of the plate. That remains to be seen. And, how are they going to feel about him? Sort of he's just doing this for the first time. I'm sure they'll respect him. They're not going to just blow the guy off. But if you kind of see him as just another, you're just kind of an older player and that was around a little bit, and you're not some great batting whiz with all these accolades. So how are they going to view him? How are they going to get along? I don't know. I even said this when they got rid of Lawson, that I think hitting coaches have very little to do, maybe with some individual players, minor tweaks. But if you're talking about the entire team, I don't think he's going to make a difference where these guys are going to start raking left and right. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think a hitting coach does that much. The player's the player, Does he still have the bat speed? Can he still play the game? That's usually what it is. Now, when you get a little older, you got to maybe start the bat up quicker. You got to maybe put the hands back, whatever, put the hands forward more. I don't know. Little things like that. I don't think a hitting coach makes that much of a difference, and that's why you don't see hitting coaches stay that long. I mean, usually every 1 or 2 years, teams just changing them out, so that kind of tells you all you need to know. Same thing with pitching coaches. And I think pitching coaches is a little bit different. You do see them linger around a little bit more, especially the good ones like a Mel Stoudemire or Leo Mazzoni with Bobby Cox there for a while there. So for some reason, they seem to stick around a little bit. But even them, there's only really so much they could do. Then maybe they could help a younger player for the most part. But other than that, but I'm thinking in terms of the hitters, it's really on them. So they bring in Casey. It's a little outside the box. I like it. It's okay. He's cool. And he has a little personality. Is he going to be able to get in these guys' faces a little bit? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that's the move the Yankees make. Not sure yet if they announce what number he's going to have. Not that it really makes a difference. But again, it's going to be interesting. And he's a bit of a character himself. So, maybe this lightens up the bench a little bit just because they might be stiff just the way the Yankees, just haven't been great lately. They went into the All-Star game in 4th place and just maybe just a game above being knocked back into the 5th place cellar again, which probably going to happen as soon as the season starts up again. But again, they just got to get these batting averages up because, I was kind of mentioned the last episode. You got Stanton hitting 200. I mean, this guy, when he came to the Yankees, he was the 2017 National League MVP, and now he's like a 200 hitter. I mean, okay, you figure, he's not going to be as good as he was, 5 years ago, but you can't be hitting 200. And Donaldson, yes, he's getting his home run and stuff like that, but you can't be hitting 150. And Oswaldo Cabrera hitting 195. It's too many of these guys is down in the dumps, and it just doesn't look like a professional baseball team. I know the game's different now. It's all, walk, strikeout, a home run, and you don't see too many 300 hitters and contact. I get that. But you can't have the point where, DJ LeMahieu's got to be better than 250, 260. Gleyber Torres, come on. 2019, he was a legit, someone close to 300 hitter. He's not a young, he's still a young guy. He's 25, 26. He can't be this bad. So let's see if he can tweak these guys. I don't think he's gonna, but let's just go with it. So welcome Sean Casey to the Yankee family. And again, the other news with Garrett Cole. Again, I was a little surprised that he was going to be in the All-Star game. I mean, not be in it, but participate just because he pitched Saturday. But I guess technically it'll be a throw day. So he actually was named the American League starter. So, okay. So the Yankees get a little presence in the All-Star game. Just pitched the first inning, had 3 flyouts, nothing really dramatic. Usually when someone starts the All-Star game, they pitch the first 2 innings, but I guess they're just being very extra protective of the pitches because they don't want any situations like, what happened with Edwin Diaz blowing his Achilles out in the World Baseball Classic during the offseason there. So I guess they just want to really baby these pitchers, which is why I was kind of surprised Cole even started. But whatever, he started. 3 flyouts, fine, he's gone. Hope he had a good time there. So that's it with Garrett Cole. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, this just shows you, the way this Yankee team has been is bad hitting. They got no position players participating in this game. Would have been Judge if he didn't have the hurt toe, but other than that, nobody. So it just goes to show this Yankee offense has been, this putrid. And that's why Sean Casey's here to turn it around. So that's the episode. A little short and quick there. So I gave you the tail of the tape of Sean Casey. Make sure you go over to the YouTube. Look for Section 420 Talkin Yankees. Look for the latest episode with Brian Hoke. Catch the interview. Go on Amazon. Go get his book. I went through it. I got an advanced copy of it. It's very informative. Kind of does a parallel between Judge's chase and goes back to Babe Ruth and Roger Maris. Kind of tell a few stories as they were going through their seasons back in 61 and 27. So he kind of mirrors all 3 of them, and coincidentally, all 3 of them Yankee right fielders, as well as he basically documents each of the games that Judge hit a home run in and kind of what happened in fine detailed notes, kind of take you back some of those memories. You might remember some of those games, some of the 2 home run games, or some of the grand slams he hit. It was oh yeah, I remember that one like that. And actually, and it takes it through not only just the getting number 62 there, but also just the playoff run there, because we saw Judge during the chase to get 62. Definitely took himself out of his shoes. The whole year he was pretty much composed, but he was trying to get that 61 and 62. We saw Judge's change a little bit, swing outside the zone, getting a little jumpy there, going after the first pitch. Again, things we didn't see Judge through the whole season there, so kind of threw him out of whack, which probably hurt the Yankees during the playoffs. Not saying they would have beaten Houston if they had Judge playing a little bit better, and then kind of takes it through the offseason and leading up to getting the big $360 million contract. So you get your money's worth of this book. It's almost 400 pages. So go check out the book. Again, it's called 62, Aaron Judge, the New York Yankees, and the Pursuit of Greatness, and I hope to catch you on the next episode.